Have you ever felt like the wisest thing to do is to stay silent, even when you know the answer? Or wondered if stepping back in certain situations could bring you more peace and happiness? As we grow older, life teaches us that true wisdom isn't always about speaking up or taking action. It's about knowing when not to. In this video, we'll uncover 5 surprising situations where playing dumb isn't a sign of weakness but a profound act of strength, love, and wisdom. From navigating tense family dynamics to sidestepping pushy salespeople, and even handling the overwhelming pace of modern technology, this guide is packed with life-changing lessons. Why should you keep watching? By the end of this video, you'll discover how playing dumb can protect your peace, strengthen relationships, and help you live a more intentional and fulfilling life. These aren't just tips, they're time-tested strategies that can transform how you approach conflict, stress, and the demands of everyday life. So, if you're ready to learn how to embrace simplicity, set boundaries, and prioritize what truly matters, stay with us. You'll leave with a new perspective on how to live with grace, wisdom, and confidence in every situation. Let's get started. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. When family dynamics get tense. Families are more than just the people who share your bloodline. They are the very fabric that weaves your story, your joys, your sorrows, and your deepest memories. They are the threads that hold everything together, offering a sense of belonging and security that no one else can provide. Yet, even the strongest, most beautiful fabric can unravel when the weight of tension presses down too hard. As we age, we find ourselves stepping into the role of the steady heart of our family, a place that carries an undeniable honor but also a heavy responsibility. It's a role that's as sacred as it is taxing, one that can leave us feeling both proud and worn. The truth is, as we grow older, we often find ourselves in the eye of the storm when family conflicts arise. The instinct to step in and mediate, to smooth over the ruffled feathers and make everything right, is so strong, so deeply ingrained in us. After all, we've lived through enough of life's ups and downs to know how these disagreements can unfold. But here's the hard truth. Sometimes, the wisest decision isn't to jump into the fray at all. Sometimes, it's knowing when to step back, when to hold space, and when to, perhaps, play dumb as the storm of family dynamics brews all around us. In every family, there are moments of friction. Sibling rivalries, parent-child clashes, and generational divides. These are as inevitable as the changing seasons. Perhaps your children are at odds, arguing over how best to care for you in your later years, or your grandchildren are embroiled in a bitter dispute over decisions that, to you, might seem trivial but are monumental to them. You've been around long enough to see the patterns, to recognize the familiar strains in the air, to know when the tension is about to spill over into a full-blown argument. You've witnessed it all before, time and time again. And yet, despite all of your years of wisdom, stepping in to fix things or take sides often only serves to make the situation worse. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but it's true. No matter how much we want to help, our good intentions can sometimes fuel the fire instead of putting it out. Playing dumb in these moments doesn't signify apathy or avoidance. Far from it. It's an act of wisdom, of trust. When you appear uninvolved, when you seem to hold back from inserting your opinion, you're creating the space for others to wrestle with their emotions, navigate their conflicts, and, ultimately, find their resolutions. By stepping back, you allow them to rise to the occasion. Instead of rushing in to fix it, a few simple neutral words like, "You both make valid points," or "I trust you will find the right path forward," can do wonders. These words aren't dismissive. Rather, they serve as a reminder, soft, gentle, that they are more than capable of handling this on their own. It's an empowering gesture that shows your belief in them, in their ability to work through their differences. In this quiet, almost imperceptible way, you help preserve the very harmony of the family itself. It's essential to understand that playing dumb isn't just about preserving the peace within the family. It's about preserving your peace as well. Constantly stepping into every disagreement, every argument, and every emotional storm can drain you, leaving you emotionally exhausted and depleted. You've carried the burdens of your family for decades, and you've seen enough of life's struggles to know that sometimes you need to let go. You've already been the glue holding everyone together for so long. Now, it's time for others to carry that weight. By stepping back, you protect your energy and avoid becoming the lightning rod for every tension that arises. You protect your own emotional space, so when the moment truly comes that your voice is needed, it will carry the wisdom and gravity of someone who understands the delicate balance of when to speak and when to remain silent. This doesn't mean you're neglecting the family or ignoring their genuine needs. If the conflict at hand threatens the foundation of the family, or if it touches on moral or safety issues, your guidance and wisdom may be exactly what's needed. But for those everyday squabbles, the misunderstandings that crop up between loved ones, playing dumb is a way to hold space for healing, to step aside and let others learn to navigate their relationships. Families are inherently imperfect, and that imperfection is often what makes them so beautiful, so real. As the elder, you embody the resilience, the history, and the enduring love that binds everyone together. By choosing to play dumb when the time is right, you create an environment of grace. You allow relationships the room to breathe and grow. You offer the gift of space, where each person can find their way back to harmony. Your silence, your restraint, your quiet confidence in their ability to find their way speaks volumes, often louder and more profoundly than words ever could. You are not an unwilling participant in the family drama. You are the steady, silent anchor that keeps everyone grounded. Your role as the elder is not to solve every problem, to fix every fight, or to resolve every argument. It's to be the calm in the storm, the stillness in the chaos, the unwavering force beneath shifting sands. Sometimes, the wisest thing you can do is simply let the storm pass, trusting that the love and care you've poured into the family will ultimately guide everyone back to peace. In the end, playing dumb is not a weakness. It's an incredibly profound act of love, rooted in the deep understanding that true peace isn't found in controlling every moment, but in letting go and trusting that everything will unfold as it's meant to. It's a powerful form of love that says, I trust you, I believe in you, and I know that you can find your way. It's in that trust, that faith in your family, that peace truly begins to take root. 2. When technology leaves you baffled. In an era where technology seems to evolve at an almost dizzying pace, it's not surprising to feel as though you're constantly being swept up in a tide that's far too fast to keep up with. The world moves forward, and every day there seems to be a new device, a new app, a new way to stay connected, or so they say. Smartphones, streaming services, online banking, social media. They all come with promises of convenience, but for many of us, especially as we grow older, they often feel like nothing more than a series of hurdles that only add frustration and confusion to our already full lives. The constant pressure to stay on top of it all, to learn how to use every new gadget or understand the latest app, can feel overwhelming. You can't help but wonder, is this all necessary? But here's the thing, after years of living, you've gained a wisdom that many others might not fully grasp. Not everything is worth your time or energy. Sometimes the most freeing choice, the most empowering choice, is to simply step back, smile, and let yourself not know. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Letting go of the need to master every technological advancement isn't a sign of defeat or falling behind. It's a profound act of self-care. It's about choosing what's truly important. At this stage of life, it's no longer about chasing every trend or proving that you can learn how to use every device that hits the market. No, this chapter of life is about saving your energy and your mental space for the things that truly bring you joy, those moments of laughter with family, time spent in nature, or simply doing what makes your soul feel at peace. Why would you spend precious hours wrestling with the settings of a new phone or trying to figure out an endless stream of updates when you could be doing something so much more fulfilling? Imagine this: your grandson enthusiastically explaining how to use a new app or set up a digital photo frame. He's excited to share his knowledge with you, his eyes sparkling with the joy of teaching you something new. And as he goes on, his words turning into a string of tech jargon that makes your head spin, you just laugh and say, "That's amazing, but I'll leave the wizardry to you." In that moment, you're not failing. You're connecting. You're showing him that there's more value in sharing a laugh, in letting him feel the pride of teaching, than there is in proving that you can keep up. By allowing the younger generations to take the lead, you're creating a bridge between the past and the present, between wisdom and innovation. Technology, in these moments, becomes less about what you don't understand and more about what you can share. Your curiosity, your willingness to learn, and the beauty of simply being present with one another. And let's not forget the profound strength in knowing that not all technology needs to fit into your life. You've lived through times when a handwritten letter or a face-to-face conversation was the primary way to stay connected, and those moments were rich with meaning. Sure, technology offers new ways to interact, but it can never replicate the depth of those genuine, heartfelt exchanges. Choosing simplicity, holding on to the pleasure of a good book, the warmth of a handwritten card, or the magic of an unhurried conversation, serves as a reminder that there is immeasurable value in the quiet moments, the timeless ways of connecting that don't rely on screens or gadgets. Now, don't get me wrong. Playing dumb doesn't mean turning away from all technology. It means having the wisdom to discern what's worth your time and energy. Maybe you've embraced email to stay in touch with old friends or video calls to see your grandchildren's faces. And that's enough. You don't have to become fluent in every new app or service. Your wisdom lies in knowing what serves you, what truly enhances your life, and letting go of what doesn't. This conscious decision to protect your peace also keeps you from unnecessary stress. How many times have we all found ourselves tearing our hair out over forgotten passwords, cryptic error messages, or the endless parade of system updates? These little frustrations can rob you of your energy, leaving you more exhausted than when you started. So why not let go of the need to control it all? Ask for help when you need it, or let someone else take care of the techie details. There's real power, real peace, in saying, "I don't know how to do this," and that's okay. At its core, playing dumb when it comes to technology is a quiet act of rebellion against the frantic pace of the modern world. It's a reminder to yourself, and others, that life is not about mastering every new tool, every shiny invention that comes our way. Life is about cherishing what truly matters: the moments of love, the laughter that fills a room, the experiences that make your heart swell with gratitude. Sure, technology promises connection, but it's your presence, your wisdom, and your ability to savor the simple, human moments that truly bridge the gaps between generations. In choosing simplicity, leaning on others when needed, and valuing real connection over the complexity of a new device, you're not just playing dumb. You're showing the world what it truly means to live with intention, grace, and a deep understanding of what matters most in the precious time we have. 3. When you're the target of pushy salespeople. As we age, there's a profound sense of quiet confidence that grows within us. It's the kind of wisdom that doesn't shout or boast, but rather, it calmly and quietly observes the world around us, discerning what truly matters. With the years come experiences that sharpen our judgment, allowing us to see through the noise of life, the distractions, the pressures, the empty promises, and focus on what's real. And yet, even the wisest among us can find ourselves caught in the crosshairs of pushy salespeople or smooth-talking scammers who believe they've found an easy mark. The audacity of these individuals, relying on their pressure tactics, their false sense of urgency, and their belief that we might falter under their relentless persistence, is enough to make anyone question their motives. They are betting on the idea that, perhaps, with all the hustle and bustle, we'll slip up. But here's the thing, they couldn't be more wrong. You don't owe them a single argument, an ounce of justification, or even the slightest engagement. There's so much power in the art of disengagement. Sometimes, the most intelligent response isn't to challenge them with logic or a pointed rebuttal. No, the most powerful response is to simply play dumb. It's a strategy rooted not in deception, but in self-preservation. By gracefully sidestepping their tactics, you deny them the satisfaction of even catching a glimpse of your vulnerability. A simple, soft-spoken, "Oh, I don't understand all of this. Let me talk to my family first," is all it takes to dismantle their pressure without ever needing to raise your voice or show frustration. It's brilliant in its simplicity. This tactic doesn't make you any less sharp or independent. It showcases a quiet brilliance that others may fail to grasp. It's not about appearing clueless, it's about protecting your peace. You're creating a space between their rush and your thoughts, giving yourself permission to think, breathe, and take your time. The world may demand instant decisions, but you, my friend, know that there is no rush when it comes to making important choices. You're not rejecting them outright, but you're not allowing yourself to be swept up in the frenzy of their pressure either. It's a subtle act of reclaiming control over a situation where they thought they could dictate the pace. And here's something truly valuable that your years have taught you: the incredible power of pause. In your journey through life, you've come to realize that time is an ally, not an enemy. While pushy salespeople may dangle a limited time offer in front of you, you've learned that most things can wait. There is rarely a decision so urgent that it demands to be made in the heat of the moment. By slowing down, you disrupt their rhythm, reclaim your space, and regain your peace of mind. It's not about outsmarting them. It's about protecting your emotional and mental well-being. It's about having the wisdom to make thoughtful, intentional decisions without being pushed into a corner. There's also a quiet strength in knowing when to ask for help. If a financial or legal proposal feels too complicated, too glossy, or too good to be true, leaning on the support of a trusted family member, friend, or advisor isn't a sign of weakness, it's a mark of wisdom. These people care for you, they have your best interests at heart, and they can provide the clarity you need in moments when the fog of confusion clouds your judgment. Asking for help isn't an admission of inadequacy. It's a powerful statement that you value your peace of mind, your security, and your future. It's a reflection of the fact that you've built a life full of valuable relationships, and you trust the people who walk beside you. In the end, playing dumb when confronted with a pushy salesperson isn't just a tactic, it's a quiet act of defiance. It's saying, without uttering a word, "You don't have power over me." It's asserting that you've lived long enough to know the value of discernment over impulse, the wisdom of clarity over confusion. You've earned the right to take your time, to make decisions on your terms, and to protect your peace. You are not an easy target. You are a fortress of wisdom, forged over a lifetime of experience and learning. But there's an even deeper truth here, one that resonates with the heart. Your worth isn't determined by how well you navigate someone else's agenda. You've spent decades crafting a life that reflects your values, your priorities, and your heart. Every choice you've made, and every challenge you've faced, has brought you to a place where you know who you are and what matters most to you. No stranger, no matter how polished their pitch or how convincing their sales tactics, has the right to come in and disrupt that. You've earned your peace, and you will protect it with a strength and wisdom that only comes from having lived a life well lived. 4. When debates turn heated. Life offers us countless lessons, but perhaps one of the most transformative is the deep understanding of when to speak up and when to let go. With age comes a wealth of experience, and naturally, there's a compelling urge to share the insights we've gathered over the years. However, as we grow older, we also learn that not every conversation is a battleground, and not every fiery debate demands our intervention. Sometimes, the most powerful and profound choice is to remain silent. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Imagine this. You're at a family gathering, the air thick with laughter, love, and togetherness. But then, like a sudden storm, a conversation takes a sharp and unsettling turn. It could be anything: political views, differing beliefs about religion, or even something as seemingly mundane as lifestyle choices. You watch as your children or grandchildren, voices trembling with passion, argue and defend their contrasting opinions. They look at you, the elder, the one with decades of life's rich tapestry to draw from, hoping you'll step in, offer your judgment, or somehow put an end to the conflict. You feel the weight of their gaze, their expectation, knowing you could easily step in with a well-reasoned argument and put the situation to rest. But is that what's needed right now? In moments like this, the deepest wisdom may lie not in speaking, but in stepping back. The greatest act of strength might be to hold your peace, let the emotions of the moment ebb away, and allow the situation to breathe. Instead of feeling compelled to fix or take sides, imagine offering a simple, heartfelt, "I see where both of you are coming from." Those words aren't a refusal to acknowledge the truth. They're a subtle gift of peace. By choosing not to fan the flames of conflict, you create space, a much-needed space for calm reflection, allowing the emotional noise to fade into quiet understanding. This is a precious gift, one that far exceeds any temporary victory in an argument. It's essential to recognize that most heated debates aren't really about finding common ground. They're about asserting one's right to be heard. When you engage too deeply, you risk driving a wedge between perspectives, reinforcing divides instead of fostering unity. In stepping away from the argument, you send a message that the relationship itself holds more weight than the need to win. And this isn't a sign of weakness or indifference. On the contrary, it is wisdom in its most graceful, profound form. You remind everyone present that love, connection, and mutual respect are far more valuable than the fleeting satisfaction of winning a debate or proving a point. Choosing not to engage also serves as a way to preserve your inner peace. At this stage in life, emotional energy becomes increasingly precious. You've weathered enough storms, lost loved ones, faced personal challenges, and confronted the inevitable changes that come with time, to realize that not every disagreement needs resolution. Not every battle is worth fighting. Disengaging from the emotional fray is not about surrendering. It's about choosing where to invest your precious heart and mind. The wisdom of age teaches us that sometimes stepping back is a victory in itself, a victory of serenity over chaos. By choosing peace, you set an example for others, especially younger generations. You model a calm, measured approach to conflict, demonstrating that sometimes silence speaks louder than words. Your quietness is not passive. It is an active choice to foster understanding and offer space for growth without judgment. You show others that true wisdom isn't loud, isn't argumentative, isn't a fight to be won. It is grounded in love, in understanding, and in the quiet strength that comes from years of experience. This choice to not engage in heated debates is not just about protecting your own peace of mind, but also about shaping the legacy you leave behind. When you refrain from rushing in with your opinions, you teach the invaluable lesson of listening, of creating an environment where others can explore their own perspectives, make mistakes, and learn without fear of judgment or correction. Your silence becomes a space for growth, a subtle reminder that sometimes the greatest gift we can offer is the space to simply be. Ultimately, when you choose not to engage, you preserve the bonds that matter most. You safeguard relationships by letting go of the need to always be right and instead focus on nurturing the deeper, more lasting truths of life. That respect, love, and understanding are what bind us together, not agreement on every point. Your presence in those moments of restraint is more powerful than any argument, as it carries the weight of wisdom, calm, and unwavering love. And when the heat of the moment subsides, when the noise quiets down and the emotions settle, those around you, perhaps even you, will remember that sometimes the greatest contribution you can make is to let the moment pass. To trust that the lessons of life will unfold in their own time, at their own pace, and that the most lasting lessons are not taught through words, but through the quiet grace of a heart that knows when to remain still. In the end, the bonds of love and respect that you nurture in those moments will be the ones that stand the test of time, far outlasting any fleeting victory in an argument. 5. When you're asked to take on more than you can handle. When you're asked to take on more than you can handle, It's like a sudden, silent plea from your soul, urging you to remember the invaluable importance of your well-being. There is a quiet, almost sacred dignity in recognizing your limits, an awareness that deepens with time. The years, full of lessons and wisdom, teach you that your time and energy are precious gifts. As the seasons of life change, so do your priorities, shifting toward what truly nourishes your spirit. But, all too often, the world around you seems oblivious to this reality, as if the relentless demands of others should take precedence over your personal growth and peace. In the later stages of life, when you've already given so much of yourself to others, it can feel overwhelming when those requests for help keep coming. They come disguised as compliments and reassurances, like, "You've handled this so well before," or "You're the perfect person for this task." You can feel the weight of these expectations settling on your shoulders, knowing that, perhaps, you are exactly the person they need. There is that undeniable urge to say yes, to show up, to prove yourself again, to be the hero. It's an internal tug of war, the desire to be of service and the reality that you may not have the strength to bear one more load. Yet, this is where true wisdom reveals itself. The real act of courage comes not from saying yes to everything but from learning the powerful art of saying no. And in these moments, sometimes the kindest, most loving thing you can do for yourself is to play dumb. Just a little. Not because you lack the ability or knowledge, but because you have the foresight to know when to gracefully set boundaries. A light-hearted, even playful response, like, "Oh, I'm not sure I could even begin to tackle that right now," or "I think this one needs someone with fresh energy and ideas," offers a graceful way to decline without feeling guilty. You are, in essence, protecting your peace and honoring your own needs, which is not selfish, it's wise beyond measure. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Saying no isn't about abandoning the people you care for. Far from it. In fact, by stepping back, you allow others to rise, step into the roles you once filled, and experience the satisfaction and growth that comes from stepping up. This isn't neglecting your responsibilities. It's giving others the chance to grow, contribute, and feel the deep fulfillment that comes from taking ownership. And that, in itself, is a profound act of generosity. The real treasure in saying no is the time you gift yourself. This stage of life isn't meant to be a never-ending continuation of busyness, a race to the finish line of obligations. It is, rather, a precious opportunity to slow down, to savor the moments that bring you joy, contentment, and a sense of deep connection with yourself. Whether it's waking up to the quiet of a peaceful morning, tending to the garden you've lovingly nurtured, or simply sitting with a cup of tea and reflecting on the beautiful life you've built, these are the things that feed your soul. These are the moments that make your heart swell with gratitude, far more than any responsibility ever could. But there's more to it. Playing dumb, as it were, is also a powerful tool for protecting your emotional and physical health. Overcommitting yourself can drain you in ways that leave scars, stress, fatigue, and even the subtle rise of resentment. It's a dangerous cocktail that can rob you of the joy you deserve to experience. By politely declining, you create a sanctuary of rest, a space where you can recharge and be present for the things that matter most, the moments that truly fill you up. At its deepest level, playing dumb is an act of honoring your own life, the one you've worked so hard to cultivate. It's acknowledging that your worth isn't determined by what you can do for others, but by the love, wisdom, and presence you bring to the people and activities that truly touch your heart. It's a declaration that you are not just a doer, but a being, a person deserving of peace, of joy, and of moments that light up your life. Setting boundaries isn't about building walls. It's about creating bridges. Bridges that lead to a life of purpose, fulfillment, and emotional well-being. The greatest act of wisdom, in the end, is knowing when to say no so that you can say yes to the things that truly matter. The moments that nourish your soul, that bring you closer to the people you love, and that leave you feeling whole. So, the next time you're asked to take on more than you can handle, remember this. It's not about how much you do, but how deeply you live. By playing dumb and setting those loving boundaries, You preserve your energy for the laughter-filled conversations, the quiet evenings under the stars, and the sweet, simple pleasures of life. You remind yourself, and everyone around you, that a life well lived is savored deeply, where each moment is cherished, not because you're busy, but because you're truly present. As we wrap up, I want to take a moment to reflect on what we've explored together. From the wisdom of recognizing our limits to the powerful art of setting boundaries, we've uncovered the true value of honoring ourselves in a world that often asks for more than we can give. It's all about embracing our worth, saying no when necessary, and making space for the things that matter in our lives. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What have you learned from today's discussion? What one thing stood out to you the most? And how do you plan to bring it into practice in your own life? Drop a comment below and let's keep this conversation going. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.